This is a video about the industrial sector in the Antwerp port area. I think we have to change course completely. We have to make space for manufacturing of products, near sourcing, and not give all this huge terrain just to the hydrocarbons industry. Hydrocarbons are the main source of climate change, as you know. It's those ugly two C's that you see in the formula of ethylene here behind me. And we have to move to hydrogen instead, which is completely clean if you make it from solar or wind or tidal energy. At the Belgian map here behind me, you see this spot in the middle near the Dutch border, which is the Antwerp port and city, and it's the same color as most of the south of the country. But our mayor here in Antwerp, he is the president of a nationalist conservative party whose main objective is to split the country in two. So I'm not sure if he wants to then attach Antwerp to this nice orange area where so many people are living from unemployment benefits. Because this is a huge workforce kept idle. And if we would diversify our port, our industrial sector in the port, then we could create jobs. Obviously, this transition from hydrocarbons oriented to more manufacturing, assembling, making green energy, fuel cells, electrolyzers, you name it, it's not going to be unpainful, especially not for the existing hydrocarbons industry, because their assets will become obsolete. But let's not forget that there's a lot of idle capital as well in Belgium. Hundreds of billions of euros are rotting away on saving accounts, melting away due to inflation. So capital is there and workforce is there and terrains could be made available. That's a good environment, that's a good opportunity. Now I admit that in the past when the city council in the 50s and 60s and 70s decided to open up the port area for industry, that it brought us some prosperity. We also profited from this brand new nuclear power station in Doel, bringing cheap electricity, especially to the industry. We had this pipeline from Rotterdam where millions of tons of crude oil came pouring in every year. And so a lot of investment was made, especially by foreign companies, Americans, Germans, French, Japanese, etc. But the future must be more than just an enhanced version of the past. So we have to have the audacity to find some new ways of energizing this sector. And we should stop dancing to the tune of Essentia and Energia. Essentia is the professional association of the petrochemical and chemical and life sciences businesses, and Energia are the refineries. So making fuels, that's a thing of the past. I hope it's a thing of the past. And making petrochemicals, it's mainly for the plastic business. And the plastic business is mainly for packaging. Packaging is single use, and then they want to make us believe that there are some fairy tale solutions like carbon capture, as long as the European Commission opens up its wallet to finance it. And they want to make us believe that recycling of plastics is actually very good and very efficient. Well, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. The majority of plastics ends up on landfills like the Hogemai, or it ends up in incinerators of Indaver, or it is exported to Bangladesh or Nigeria. And the older man of the port used to work for one of the big shots in the plastic industry, Mr. Hutz. And of course they want to keep their assets valuable. That's normal, I can understand that. But it's a blockage for the country, for the development of the industrial activities in the port area. They also made this Fost Plus organization, which you find the logo on the blue bag, the blue plastic bag that you have to keep in your house, in which you have to put your metals and your plastics and your drinking cartons. And then what happens with it afterwards, nobody knows. But the statistics are clear. The average of recycling of plastics in the European Union is 38%, meaning that 62% ends up somewhere else. And on top of that, the production of virgin new plastic exceeds the recycling figures. So in fact, we are still producing even the last decade, more and more plastics. So this is my New Year's resolution for the Antwerp port. Let's go to real added value manufacturing, and let's downscale this petrochemical industry. It's not a problem when they make the plastics to export to Denmark to make the Lego blocks, or to China to make the garden furniture, but it shouldn't end up in the North Sea, in the Atlantic Ocean, everywhere, killing us, killing nature and killing us as well. I wish you a very prosperous 2023, and I hope that the hydrocarbons lobby will stop to wage wars, to advance their own interests, to create this artificial scarcity of oil, and which is stopping us from transiting to real green energy. That should really stop. And so the collateral damage caused by the hydrocarbons industry is huge, and we should stop kissing their beep also in the port of Antwerp. Thank you very much.